So good morning, dear Sangha. All of you here came in the rain in our physical Zendo. And those of you who are online today, and Lord knows what kind of weather you may be having wherever you are, other times and other places, welcome to you. In a way, you know, it's a little strange. Sitting here in our modest Zendo in a cobblestone alley in Tribeca, New York City, and realizing that we're also moving through space and time. We're rocketing through space and time, through very different places and different conditions, different weather, and somehow we can connect. Perhaps to connect with our intention to fully experience our lives. Or as Enkyo Roshi would say, to appreciate our lives. What would it be every day to remember to appreciate your life, just as it is, with all the ups and downs? Appreciate it. So, thanks to Zoom, we're able to connect to quite a few people online and also through time. There'll be someone who will crank this video up next year. So it's amazing. Because, you know, Zen is our way of finding our own true nature. That authentic, wondrous self-nature that we can forget. So that deeply rooted part of you, that authentic self. Sometimes we lose track of that, who we really are. It's really easy to get distracted and live for years with a kind of imagined reality. A world that maybe lacks integrity, the wholeness of one's own life. And we can get so caught up in theories and expectations, thought pathways that muddle our understanding and our relationships with others and with the world itself, and our relationship with the world itself. So that's kind of like what my experience was until I kind of stumbled onto the Zen way and till I found a way to study my life and use it. I think use it well. For me, the path has been Zen practice, the simple and practical discipline of stopping and sitting still. Not thinking, but being present to each breath, being present to the moment. And yeah, it takes time and discipline. A willingness to try over and over. But I promise you, if you continue, Zen is a time-tested way to investigate your life and appreciate your life as it is. And it turns out to make you really very generous and open-hearted and lively. You know, when we're troubled or confused or caught in a dream, Zen can help us change the plot, offer us a path to use our minds to center peace and compassion for ourselves and then for others. And the thing about Zen is it's not so complicated. We find a way to sit quietly, to allow the mind to rest, not to sleep and not to dream, but to rest in each moment, alive, ready, and aware. And the energy that we receive from this practice is deep and meaningful. And I think it allows us, it teaches us how to appreciate just this moment. Not the next one when I'm going to do this, or yesterday when I did that, but this moment. So, as some of you may know, I followed this path, kind of haphazardly, kind of sloppily for about 20 years. Thought of myself as a Zen person, but I actually didn't practice. But I read a lot. And then for the following 40 years, I've practiced it voraciously. It's been my passion, my post, my responsibility, how I live. And I've dedicated myself to offering a way to share the teaching with others. First in my apartment, I'll buy a second zafu. And then later with those who joined in at 3 separate loft spaces in downtown Manhattan. And for me, it was just a simple thing. Find a place to practice together. Study with established Zen teachers so that we can offer wholesome, authentic practice that serves each one who joins us. Simple. And we blossomed. The community has expanded with wonderful Sangha members all over the world. And our own teachers have been willing to study intensively for many, many years. We're kind of rigorous. Some people would say uptight, but we're kind of rigorous about our empowerments. But those who have stuck with it are able to offer the teachings now to others who come to the Zendo. And the COVID times brought us new opportunities. New members that practice through Zoom all over the world. It was amazing. We had to get used to that. I find myself now giving a talk and looking at the people in the room, and then I remember, oh yeah, there's wonderful people here all over the place. Oh, I see some people in Costa Rica, yeah, and various other locations around the world. How marvelous, marvelous. So our community has grown. And I hope you do participate with us, many of the recorded teachings that we have. There's a vast library of them. And there's new growth out of those ancient teachings. So I'm confident that this is the reason why I decided to step back and encourage what the unfolding is going to be at this Zendo as we move forward. I have great confidence in all our teachers. We're kind of over-rigorous, but all of them are quite wonderful. And I want to acknowledge Joshin Roshi, who behind the scenes kind of has grown the Zendo, both in terms of the spirit of the Zendo, the spirit of the lay practice, and the financials, which are kind of important. I have confidence in all of those people. And there's Howard Thorson, who's our executive director, And of course, Enkyo Roshi, who is now stepping up to be the new abbot. And all our teachers, Ryotan, Myoko, Tokyo, Bokushu, Fusho. Wonderful. What is the core practice, though? What's the point of all this? Zazen. Seated mind, Zazen. Seated mind. The mind that stops and rests. The mind that sits. I remember when I first began to truly practice, I found it strangely calming and strengthening. I was instructed, just follow your breath. So put your focus of attention on your breath as you breathe in and out. Seated mind meditation. Why does it work? To sit quietly, not reaching out, not reaching in, but sitting still, quiet, calm, just sitting. No words and no thoughts. And when the thoughts come, we just tell them to drop away. As the 12th century poet and Japanese monk Saigyo describes his Zazen, whatever it is, I cannot understand it, although gratitude stubbornly overcomes me until I'm reduced to tears. Whatever it is, I cannot understand it, although gratitude stubbornly overcomes me until I'm reduced to tears. I've always been a very political, opinionated person. And when I become entangled with political ideas, confusing demands for my understanding, for my compassion, I realize that my first reaction now, and has been for years, is to sit down and drop the thinking, drop the tension, drop into the wholeness of the breath, the wholeness of life. After that quiet sitting, I will find the appropriate action. After I can find a way to make a difference, what role I might be able to play, no matter how small, I'll be strong enough to offer what is possible after I'm coming from that space of wholeness, of interaction, interbeing with all beings. So when I sit down and drop all the tension in my shoulders, I can taste the treasure of our simple practice of Zazen meditation. It's not fancy or even effortful. As soon as we learn to just drop our thought streams are this and this and this and this and this, to drop into our own being, to that wholeness that we are. It really can't be described. Although there are words upon words upon words in an attempt to. It is a way of being in the world. And Dogen called it the Dharma gate of joy. The Dharma gate of enjoyment and ease. And maybe it's because it's Mother's Day that thinking about how Zazen is like being folded into the arms of a mother. if not one's actual mother for various reasons that we all psychologically know, at least folded into the arms of motherness, of the concept of mother. Another time, Dogen wrote, "The power of samadhi is like a child having a mother, or a mother having a child. It is like a child having a child, or a mother having a mother." That's the power of Zazen. I love that. So intimate, opening that relational field for us. Also, the experience of child as mother and mother as child. That's very powerful. And that's what Dogen's pointing to, is the power of Zazen, its strength. I think it's the quality we feel. Those of us who've gathered here online and in person, why would we come out on a rainy day to sit together, to taste, just a taste of that power of Zazen? It is samadhi. And it's samadhi itself that opens us to the service to the world. The ability to quiet our minds and to allow ourselves to rest on the breast of life encourages us to offer compassion to others and to ourselves. Maybe you haven't been affected by current events, perhaps not as much as I have been for historical reasons. But the ability to quiet our minds in safety and to allow ourselves to rest on the breast of life encourages us to offer compassion to others, to everyone, and to ourselves, and to ourselves. Because when we allow ourselves to simply sink into a mind space without words, without stories and ideas, and instead we attend to our whole being, beginning with our breath, allowing our breath to become even without strain, without grasping or holding back, just flowing. Then we can allow the waves of criticism, the waves of praise, all of it to just drop away. And we simply allow ourselves to sit with our heart-mind. Za means seated, and Zen means mind. Zazen, seated mind. In his teaching on Zazen, Dogen in Fukan Zazengi describes Zazen this way: think of non-thinking. How do you think of non-thinking? Beyond thinking. This is the essential way of Zazen. Beyond thinking. So not just the negation of the chatter, but to rise above the whole thing and stay in that boundless spaciousness. We're so accustomed to doing and grasping at something. It's hard to simply drop into the stream of your breath. No longer counting, but being your breath. All the thinking and interpretation drops away, and in that moment you are here. It's more like a current in a broad river. Dogen says, the Zazen which I'm talking about is not step-by-step meditation, despite what I've been saying. It is simply the Dharma gate of peace and comfort. It is the practice enlightenment of the ultimate way. In doing Zazen, the koan manifests itself. It cannot be ensnared. When you grasp this, you're like a dragon with water or a tiger in the mountains. You must know that true Dharma manifests itself in Zazen, and that dullness and distraction drop away. I love that image of a dragon in water, a tiger walking through the mountains. I mean, that's an image to have when you just sit down on a cushion. You know, so, oh, now I'm going to sit and behave myself. Instead, I'm a tiger walking in the mountains. Huh? And then Dogen says that true Dharma manifests itself in Zazen. That's just our life. The true Dharma sounds big, but it is your life, the very thoughts that you had before you arrived today that may have slipped in and out as I was talking today. Zazen wipes away that dullness, depression, and discouragement, and restores us. So, why am I talking like this about Zazen? Because today is Mother's Day, the celebration of the maternal, the holding and caring that a mother does if she can. So in this country, of course, it's all about the marketplace, as everything else is, sort of embarrassing. Buy something quick. Flowers, cards, gifts, capitalize the caring. But our big mother, the earth, is in danger from the very same marketplace values that threaten a true Mother's Day. For short-term profits, the efforts of concerned people, scientists and public servants and citizens are often replaced for short-term profits with harmful deregulation that can poison our waters, and our land, our earth. And our ordinary mothers, the humans, the women who depend on healthcare, are also victims of small-minded, greed-based, individualistic thinking. And those women who, for whatever compelling reason, are not yet ready to be mothers, are threatened with loss of their own self-determination in this country at this time. Of course, it's not just women. It's all genders and all ages can be at risk. So we do Zazen. We take care of ourselves and our own well-being. And we recognize that that well-being does not end at the edge of our skin. We are responsible for the whole thing. We must pay attention. We must restore ourselves with our Zazen so that we can step up to our responsibilities among everyone. There's so much that can be done, but we can't passively be witnessing it. We must act. There's a wonderful story I'll conclude with about Hotei, 10th century Chinese monk, whose name means cloth sack, because he always carried a cloth sack and was something of a character, kind of a bum, really. Once someone asked him, "What is Zen?" And he dropped his sack. And then the person said, "Well, how do I realize it?" And he picked up his sack and walked on. So my gatha for today is this: pick up the damn sack. Sit Zazen quietly with ease and pick up the damn sack. So much to do in this short life. Zazen, pick up the sack.